I read in this letter that Don Peter of Aragon comes this night to Messina.
He is very near by this. He was not 3 leagues off when I left him.
How many men have you lost in this action?
But few of any sort, and none of name.
A victory is twice itself when the achiever brings home full numbers. I read here that Don Pedro hath bestowed much honor on a young Florentine named Claudio.
Much deserved on his part, and equally remembered by Don Pedro. He hath borne himself beyond the promise of his age, doing, in the figure of a lamb, the feats of a lion.
I pray you, is Senor Mountanto returned from these wars or no?
I know none of that name, lady. There is none such in the army of any sort.
What is he that you ask for, niece?
My cousin means Signor Benedict of Padua.
Oh, he's returned, and as pleasant as ever he was.
How many hath he killed and eaten in these wars? But how many hath he killed? For indeed I promised to eat all of his killing.
Faith, niece. You tax Signor Benedict too much, I think. But he'll meet with you, though. I doubt it not.
He hath done good service, lady, in these wars, and a good soldier too.
And a good soldier to a lady. But what is he to a lord?
A lord to a lord, a man to a man, stuffed with all honorable virtues.
It is so indeed. He is no less than a stuffed man. But for the stuffing, well, we are all mortal.
You must not, sir, mistake my niece. There's a kind of merry war betwixt her and Signor Benedict. They never meet, but there's a skirmish of wit between them.
Alas, he gets nothing by that. Oh, who is his companion now? He hath every month a new sworn brother.
He is most in the company of the right noble Claudio.
He will hang upon him like a disease. He is sooner caught than the pestilence, and the taker runs presently mad. God help the noble Claudio. If he hath caught the Benedict, it will cost him 1,000 pound ere he be cured.
I will hold friends with you, lady.
Oh, do, good friend.
You will never run mad, niece.
No, not till hot January.
Don Pedro is approached.
Aha, good Signor Leonato, you are come to meet your trouble. The fashion of the world is to avoid costume, yet you encounter it.
Never came trouble to my house in the likeness of your grace. For trouble being gone, comfort should remain. But when you leave, sorrowness abides, and happiness takes its leave.
You embrace your charge too willingly. I believe this is your daughter?
Her mother hath many times told me so.
Were you in doubt, sir, that you had to ask?
Signor Benedict, no. For then were you a child.
You have it full, Signor Benedict. You may guess by this what you are, being a man. Oh, but truly the lady father's herself. Be happy, lady, for you are like an honorable father.
If Signor Leonato be her father, she would not have his head on her shoulders for all Messina, as like him as she is.
I wonder that you will still be talking, Signor Benedict. Nobody marks you.
What? My dear lady, disdain. Are you yet living?
Is it possible disdain should die when she hath such meat food to feed it as Signor Benedict? Courtesy itself must convert to disdain, if ever you come in her presence.
Then is courtesy a turncoat? But it is certain I am loved of all ladies. Only you excepted. And I would I could find it in my heart that I had not such a hard heart, for truly I love none.
A dear happiness to women. They would else have been troubled with the pernicious suitor. I thank God in my cold blood I am of your humor for that. I had rather hear my dog bark at a crow than hear a man swear he loves me.
Well, God keep your ladyship still in that mind. So some gentleman or other may escape a predestinate scratched face.
Scratching could not make it worse, and 'twere such a face as yours were.
Well, you are a rare parrot teacher.
A bird of my tongue is better than a beast of yours.
Would my horse have the speed of your tongue, and so good a continuer? But keep your ways. In God's name I have done.
You always end with a jade's trick. I know you of old.
That is the sum of all, Leonato. Signor Claudio, Signor Benedict, my good friend Leonato hath invited you all. Oh, I tell him we shall stay here at least a month, and he heartily prays some occasion may detain us longer. Oh, I swear he is no hypocrite, but prays from his heart.
If you swear, my lord, you shall not be forsworn. Let me bid you welcome, my lord. Being reconciled to the prince, your brother, I owe you all duty.
I thank you. I am not a man of many words, but I thank you.
Please it your grace to lead on.
Oh, your hand, Leonato. We will go together.
Benedict, didst thou note the daughter of Signor Leonato?
I noted her not, but I looked on her.
Is she not a modest young lady?
Would you question me as an honest man should do for my simple, true judgment? Or would you have me answer after my custom as being a professed tyrant to that sex?
No, I pray thee speak in sober judgment.
Why, in faith, methinks she is too low for a high praise, too brown for a fair praise, and too little for a great praise. Only this accommodation can I afford her, that were she any other than she is, she were unhandsome. But being no other than as she is, I do not like her.
Thou thinkest I am in sport. I pray thee tell me truly how thou likest her.
Do you buy her that you inquire after her?
How can the world buy such a jewel?
Yea, and a case to put it into. But come, speak you this with a sad brow? What key shall a man take you to go into the song?
In mine eyes, she is the sweetest lady that I ever laid eyes upon.
I can see yet without spectacles, and I see no such matter. Now there is her cousin, and were she possessed with such a fury, exceeds her as much in beauty as the 1st of May doth the last of December. But I hope you have no intent to turn husband, have you?
I would scarce trust myself though I had sworn the contrary. Oh, if Hero would be my wife.
Is come to this? Hath not the world but one man? Will wear his cap with suspicion? Shall I never see a bachelor of 80 again? Go to in faith, and thou wilt need thrust thy neck into a yoke of slavery, wear the print of it, and sigh away Sundays. Oh, look, Don Pedro comes to seek you.
What secret hath held you here that you follow not to Leonato's?
I would your grace would constrain me to tell.
I charge thee on thy allegiance.
You hear, Count Claudio, I can be as secret as a dumb man, and I would have you think so. But mark you this, on my allegiance, he is in love. With who? Now that is your grace's part to tell. Mark you how short his answer is. With Hero, Leonato's short daughter.
If this were so were it uttered.
Like the old tale, my lord, it is not so, nor 'twas not so. But God forbid it should be so.
My passion changed not shortly, God forbid it should be otherwise.
Amen if you love her. Oh, for the lady is very well worthy.
You speak this to fetch me in, my lord.
By my troth, I spoke my thought.
And in faith, my lord, I spoke mine.
And by my 2 faiths and 2 troths, my lord, I spoke mine.
That I love her, I feel.
She is worthy, I know.
That I neither see how she should be loved, nor how she should be worthy, is the opinion that fire shall not melt out to me. Now I will die in it at the stake.
Thou wast ever an obstinate heretic in the despite of beauty.
And never could maintain his part but in the force of his will.
That a woman conceived me, I thank her. That she brought me up, I likewise give her most humble thanks. But I will do myself the right to trust none, and I will live a bachelor.
I will see thee ere I die look pale with love.
With anger, with sickness, or with hunger, my lord, not with love.
Well, nay, if Cupid has not spent all his quiver in Venice, thou wilt quake for it shortly.
I look for an earthquake too, then.
Well, you temporize with the hours. In the meantime, Signor Benedict, repair to Leonato's. Commend me to him and tell him I will not fail at supper, for indeed he hath made great preparations.
I have matter enough for such an embassage, and so I leave you.
Oh, my lord, your highness now may do me good.
Love is thine to teach. Teach it but how, and thou wilt see how apt it is to learn any hard lesson thou can put to it.
Hath Leonato any son, my lord?
No child but Hero's. She is his only heir. Doth thou affect her, Claudio?
Oh, my lord, when you went onward on this ended action, I looked upon her with a soldier's eye, that liked but had a rougher task in hand than to drive liking to the name of love. But now I'm returned, and that war thoughts have left their places vacant, in their rooms come thronging soft and delicate desires, all prompting me how fair young Hero is, saying, I liked her ere I went to wars.
Wilt be like a lover presently, and tire the hero with a book of words. If thou dost love, fair hero, cherish it. I will break with her father, and she shall be thine.
How sweetly thou do minister to love, that no love greased by his complexion.
Look what will serve as fit, and I will fit thee with the remedy. I know we shall have reveling tonight. I will assume thy part in some disguise, and tell fair hero that I am Claudio. Then in her bosom I will unclasp my heart, take her hearing prisoner with the force and strong resolve of my amorous tale. Then after, to her father I will break, and the conclusion is she shall be thine. In practice, let us put it presently.
How now, brother? Where's my cousin, your son? Hath he provided this music?
He's very busy about it. But brother, I can tell you strange news that you yet dreamt not of.
Are they good?
The Prince and Count Claudio, walking in a thick pleached alley in mine orchard, were thus much overheard by a man of mine. The Prince discovered to Claudio that he loved my niece, your daughter, and meant to acknowledge it this night in a dance. And if he found her accordant, he meant to take the present time by the top and instantly break with you of it.
Hath the fellow any wit that told you this?
A good sharp fellow. I will send for him and question him yourself.
No. We will hold it as a dream till it appear itself. But I will acquaint my daughter with all, that she may be more prepared for an answer, if peradventure this be true. Go you, and tell her of it.
Why are you thus out of measure sad?
There is no measure in the occasion that breeds, therefore the sadness is without limit.
Can you make no use of your discontent?
I make all use of it, for I use it only.
If not a present remedy, at least a patient sufferance.
I wonder that thou, being as thou sayest thou art, born under Saturn, goest about to apply a moral medicine to a mortifying mischief. I cannot hide what I am. I must be sad when I have cause, and smile at no man's jests. Eat when I have stomach, and wait for no man's leisure. Sleep when I am drowsy, and attend on no man's business. Laugh when I am merry, and claw no man in his humor.
You should hear reason.
And when I have heard it, what blessing brings it? I had rather be a canker in a hedge than a rose in my brother's grace. And it better fits my blood to be disdained of all than to fashion a carriage to rob love for money. It must not be denied, but I am a plain-dealing villain. I am entrusted with a muzzle and enfranchised with a clog. Therefore I have decreed not to sing in my cage. If I had my mouth, I would bite. If I had my liberty, I would do my liking. In the meantime, let me be that I am, and seek not to alter me.
Can you make no use of your discontent?
I make all use of it. Who comes here? What's news, Baraccio?
I came yonder from a great supper. The prince, your brother, is royally entertained by Leonato, and I can give you intelligence of an intended marriage.
Is this some model to build mischief upon? What is he for a fool that betroths himself to unquietness?
Marry, 'tis your brother's right hand.
Who? The most exquisite Claudio.
Oh, even he.
A proper squire. And who? Who? Which way looks he?
Marry, on Hero, the daughter and heir of Leonato.
A very forward march, chick. How came you to this?
As I was smoking in a musty room, comes me the Prince and Claudio hand in sad conference. I whipped me behind the arras, and there heard it agreed upon that the prince should woo Hero for himself, and having obtained her, give her to Count Claudio.
Come, this may prove food to my displeasure. That young upstart has all the glory of my overthrow. If I can cross him anyway, I bless myself every way. You are both sure and will assist me.
To the death, my lord.
Come, let us to the great supper. There cheers the greater that I am subdued. Would the cook were of my mind. Shall we prove what's to be done?
We'll wait upon your lordship.
Was not Count John here at supper?
I saw him not.
Hardly that gentleman looks. I never can see him, but I am always heartburnt an hour after.
He is of a very melancholy disposition.
He were an excellent man that were made just the midway between him and Benedict. The one too like an image and says nothing, the other like my lady's eldest son, evermore tattling.
Then half Signor Benedict's tongue in Count John's mouth, and half Count John's melancholy in Signor Benedict's face.
With a good leg and a good foot, uncle, and money enough in his purse, such a man would win any woman in the world, if he could get her goodwill.
By my troth, niece, if thou be so shrewd thy tongue, thou wilt never get thee a husband.
In faith, she's too cursed.
Too cursed is more than cursed, and I shall lessen God's sending that way. For 'tis said, God sends a cursed cow short horns, but to a cow too cursed, he sends none.
So by being too cursed, God will send you no horns.
Just if he send me no husband, for which the blessing I am at him upon my knees morning and evening. Lord, I could not endure a husband with a beard on his face. I had rather lie in the woolen.
Why, you may light upon a husband that hath no beard.
What would I do with him? Dress him in my apparel? Make him my waiting gentlewoman? He that hath a beard is more than a youth, and he that hath no beard is less than a man. And he that is more than a youth is not for me, and he that is less than a man, I am not for him.
Well, niece, I trust you'll be ruled by your father.
Yes, in faith 'tis my cousin's duty to make curtsy and say, Father, as it please you. But for all that, cousin, let him be a handsome fellow, else make another curtsy and say, Father, as it please me.
Well, niece, I hope to see you one day fitted with a husband.
Not till God make man out of some other metal than earth.
Daughter, remember what I told you. If the prince do solicit you in that kind, you know your answer. The revelers are entering. Make good room.
Lady, will you walk about with your friend?
So long as you walk softly, look sweetly, and say nothing. I'm yours for the walk, especially when I walk away.
With me in your company?
I may say so when I please,
And when please you to say so.
when I like your favor. God defend me. So much like the case.
My visor is Philemon's roof. Within the house is Jove.
Why then? Your visor should be thatched.
Lo, if you speak of love.
Well, I would you did like me.
So would not I, for I have many ill qualities. I say my prayers aloud?
I love you the better. The hearers may cry, Amen.
God, match me with a good dancer.
Amen.
And God keep him out of my sight when the dance is done, answer, clerk.
No more words. The clerk is answered.
I know you. You are Senor Antonio?
At a word, I am not.
I know you by the waggling of your head.
To tell you true, I counterfeit him.
You could not do him so ill well unless you were the very man. Here, this dry hand, up and down, you are he. You are he.
At a word, I am not.
Come, come. Do you think I do not know you by your excellent wit? Can virtue hide itself? Go to Mom. Graces will appear, and there's an end.
Will you not tell me who told you so?
No, you shall pardon me.
Nor will you tell me who you are.
Not now.
That I was disdainful. That I had my wit out of the 100 merry tales? This was Signor Benedict that said so.
What is he?
I'm sure you know him well enough.
Oh, not I, believe me.
Did he never make you laugh?
I pray you, what is he?
Why, he is the prince's jester, a very dull fool. And his only gift is in devising impossible slanders. None but libertines delight in him. And his commendation is not in his wit, but in his villainy. For he both pleases men and angers them. And then they laugh at him and beat him.
When I know the gentleman, I'll tell him what you say.
Do. He'll but break a comparison or two on me, which, peradventure, if not marked or not laughed at, strikes him into melancholy. Come, we must follow the leaders.
Oh, in every good thing.
Nay, if they lead to any ill, I will leave them at the next turning.
Sure, my brother is amorous upon Hero, and hath withdrawn her father to break with him about it. The ladies follow, yet one visor remains.
And that is Claudio. I know him by his bearing.
Are not you Signor Benedict?
You know me well. I am he.
You are very near my brother in his love. He is enamored on Hero. I pray you dissuade him. She is no equal for his birth. You may do the part of an honest man in it.
How know you he loves her?
I heard him swear by his affection.
And so did I too. And he swore he would marry her tonight.
Oh, come, let us to the banquet.
Thus answer I in the name of Benedict. Hear these ill news with the ears of Claudio. 'Tis certain so. The prince woos for himself. Friendship is constant in all other things save in the office and affairs of love. Let every eye negotiate for itself, and trust no agent. For beauty is a witch, against whose charms faith melteth into blood. Farewell, therefore, Hero.
Count Claudio?
Yea, the same.
Come, will you go with me?
Whither?
Even to the next willow, about your own business, County. In what fashion shall you wear the garland of? About your neck like a usurer's chain, or under your arm like a lieutenant's scarf? You must wear it one way, for the prince hath got your hero.
Wish him joy of her.
Come, thus spoken like an honest drovier. So they sell the bullocks. But did you think the prince would serve you thus?
I pray you leave me.
Oh, now you strike like a blind man. 'Twas the boy that stole your meat, and you'll beat the post.
If it will not be, I'll leave you.
Alas, poor hurt fowl, now will he creep into the sedges. But that my lady Beatrice should know me, and not know me. The prince's fool. Ha! It may be that I go under that title because I am married. I am not so reputed. It is the base, though bitter disposition of Beatrice that puts the world into her person, and so gives me out. Well, I'll be revenged as I may.
How now, good signor? Where's the count? Did you see him?
Troth, my lord, I have played the part of Lady Fame. I found him here, as melancholy as a lodge in a warren, and I told him, I think I told him true, that your grace had got the goodwill of his young lady. So I offered him my company to a willow tree, to make him a garland as being forsaken, or to bind him up a rod as being worthy to be whipped.
Whipped? What is his fault?
Why, the flat transgression of a schoolboy, who after finding a bird's nest is so overjoyed that he shows his companion, and he steals it.
Wilt thou make a trust to transgression? The transgression is in the stealer.
Yet it had not been amiss. The garland had been made, and the rod too, for the garland he might have worn himself, and the rod he might have bestowed upon you, who, as I take it, have stolen the bird's nest.
We'll but teach them to sing and return them to the owner.
If their singing be as your saying, you say honestly.
The lady Beatrice hath a quarrel with you. The gentleman that danced with her told her she's much wronged by you.
Oh, she misused me past the endurance of a block. She told me, not thinking I had been myself, that I was the prince's fool, huddling jest upon jest, with such impossible conveyance that I stood like a man at a mark, with the whole army shooting at me. She speaks poignards, and every word stabs. If her breath were as terrible as terminations, there was no living near her. She would infect her the North Star. Come, talk not on her. All disquiet, horror, and perturbation follows her.
Look, here she comes.
Will your grace command me any service now to the world's end? I will go now to the antipodes. I will fetch thee a toothpicker from the furthest inch of Asia, rather than hold 3 words conference with this harpy. Have you no employment for me?
None but to desire your good company.
Good sir, here's a dish I love not. I cannot endure my lady tongue.
Come, lady, come. You've lost the heart of Signor Benedict. You've put him down, lady, you have put him down.
So would I not he should do me, my lord, lest I prove the mother of fools. I have brought you the Count Claudio, whom you sent me to seek.
How now, Count? Wherefore art thou sad?
Not sad, my lord.
How then, sick?
Neither, my lord.
The Count is neither sad, nor sick, nor merry, nor well, but civil, Count. Civil as an orange, and something of that jealous complexion.
In faith, lady, I think your blazon to be true. Though if it be so, his conceit is false. Look, Claudio, I have wooed in thy name, and fair hero is won. I have broke with her father, and his goodwill obtained, name the day of marriage, and God give thee joy.
Count, take of me my daughter, and with her my fortunes. The grace hath made the match, and a grace say amen to it.
Speak, Count. 'Tis your cue.
Silence is the perfectest herald of joy. I were but little happy if I could say how much. Lady, as you are mine, I am yours. I give myself away for you and dote upon the exchange.
Oh, speak, cousin. Or if you cannot, stop his mouth with a kiss, and let not him speak neither.
Faith, lady, you have a merry heart.
Indeed, my lord, I thank it. For fool, it keeps on the windy side of care. My cousin tells him in his ear that he is in her heart.
And so she doth, cousin.
Good lord, for alliance. Thus goes everyone into the world, but I. And I am sunburnt. I shall sit in a corner and cry, hey ho, for a husband.
Lady Beatrice, I will get you one.
I had rather have one of your father's getting. Has your grace near a brother like you?
You have me, lady.
No, my lord. Unless I might have another for working days. Your grace is too costly to wear every day. I beseech your grace to pardon me. I was born to speak all mirth, and no matter.
Your silence most offends me. Oh, for to be merry best becomes you, for out of the question you were born in a merry hour.
Oh, no, sure, my lord. My mother cried. But then there was a star dance, and under that was I born. Cousins, God give you joy.
Niece, will you look to those things I told you of?
I cry you mercy, uncle. By your grace's pardon.
By my troth, a pleasant-spirited lady.
Yes, there's little of the melancholy element in her, my lord. She's never sad but when she sleeps, and not even sad then, for my daughter tells me she hath dreamed of unhappiness and waked herself with laughing.
She cannot endure to hear tell of a husband.
Oh, by no means. She mocks all her wooers out of suit.
She were an excellent wife for Benedict.
Oh, Lord, my lord, within a week they would talk themselves mad.
Count Claudio, when means you to go to church?
Tomorrow, my lord. Time goes on crutches till love have all his rights.
Not till Monday, my dear son, which is hence just 7 days, and a time too brief to answer all things my mind.
You shake your head at so long a breathing. But I warned you, Claudio, the time will not go dully by us. I will, in the interim, undertake one of Hercules' labors, which is to bring Signor Benedict and the Lady Beatrice into a mountain of affection, one with the other. Oh, I would fain have it a match, but to fashion it, if you 3 will but minister such assistance as I do give the instruction.
My lord, I am for you, though it cost me 10 nights' watchings.
And I, my lord.
And you too, gentle hero?
I will do any modest office, my lord, to help my cousin to a good husband.
Benedict is not the most unhopeful husband. Well, thus far can I praise him. He's of a noble strain, of approved valor and confirmed honesty. I will teach thee how to humor your cousin that she fall in love with Benedict. And I, with your two helps, will so practice on Benedict that despite his quick wit and queasy stomach, he shall fall in love with Beatrice. If we can do this, Cupid is no longer an archer, and his glory shall be ours, for we are the only love gods. Come in with me, and I will tell you my drift.
Oh, the Count Claudio shall marry the daughter and heir of Leonato.
Yea, my lord, but I can cross it.
Any cross, any bar, any impediment would be medicinable to me. I am sick with displeasure towards him. How canst thou cross this marriage?
I think I told your lordship a year since how much in favor I am of Margaret, the waiting gentlewoman on Hero.
I remember.
I can, at any unseasonable instant of the night, appoint her to look out her lady chamber window.
What life is in that to be the death of this marriage?
The poison of that lies in you to temper. Go you to the prince your brother. Spare not tell him that he hath wronged his honor in marrying the renowned Claudio, whose estimation you do mightily hold up to, a contaminated stale, such a one as Hero.
What proof shall I make of that?
Proof enough to misuse the prince, vex Claudio, undo Hero, and kill Leonato. Look you for any other issue?
Only to despite them I will endeavor anything.
Go then. Find me a meat tower to draw Don Pedro and the Count Claudio alone. Tell them you know Hero loves me. Intend a kind of zeal, as in love of your brother's honor who hath made this match, and of his friend's reputation who is thus to be cozened by the semblance of a maid, such a one as Hero, that you have discovered thus. They will scarcely believe this without instance. Offer them instances which shall bear no less likelihood than to see me at her lady's chamber window. And in the meantime, I will so fashion the matter of Hero's absence, and there shall seem such seeming truth of Hero's disloyalty that jealousy shall be called assurance, and all the preparation overthrown.
Grow this to what adverse issue it can, I will put it in practice. Be cunning in the working this, and thy fee is 1,000 ducats.
Be you constant in the accusation, and my cunning will not shame me.
I will go presently learn the day of their marriage.
I do much wonder that one man, seeing how much another man is a fool, will, after he hath laughed at such shallow follies of others, become the argument of his own scorn, when he dedicates his behaviors to love. Now such a man is Claudio. I have known when there was no music with him but the drum and the fife, and now he had rather hear the tabor and the pipe. One woman is fair, yet I am well. Another wise, yet I am well. Another virtuous, yet I am well. Till all virtues be in one woman, no woman shall come into my favor, and thus I shall live a bachelor. Oh, look, the prince and Monsignor love shall hide in the arbor.
Oh, come, shall we hear this music?
Yea, my good lord, how still the evening is. I hushed on purpose to grace harmony.
See where Benedict hath hid himself. Oh, come hither, Leonato. What was it you told me today? That your niece Beatrice is in love with Signor Benedict.
Oh, aye, stock on, the foul sits. I did never think that lady would have loved any man.
No, nor I neither. But most wonderful that she should so dote on Signor Benedict, whom she hath in all outward behavior seemed ever to abhor.
Is't possible? Sits the wind in that corner?
By my troth, my lord, I know not what to think of it, but that she loves him with an enraged affection. 'Tis past the infinite of thought.
Maybe she doth but counterfeit.
Faith, like enough.
Oh, God, counterfeit. Never came counterfeit so near the likes of passion as she discovers it.
Why? What effects of passion shows she?
Beat the hook well. This fish will bite.
What effects, my lord? Why, she will sit you. You heard my daughter tell you how.
She did, indeed.
How, pray you? You amaze me. I would have thought that lady's spirit invincible against all assaults of affection.
I would have thought so as well, my lord, especially against Benedict.
I should think this a gull, but that the white-bearded fellow speaks it. Knavery cannot but hide itself in such reverence.
Yet taken the infection. Hold it up.
Hath she made her affection known to Benedict?
No, and swears she never will. That's her torment.
'Tis true. So your daughter says, shall I, says she, that have so often counted him with scorn, write to him that I love him?
This says she now, as she begins to write to him, for she'll be up 20 times a night, and there will she sit in her smock till she hath writ a sheet of paper.
Now you talk of a sheet of paper, I remember a pretty jest your daughter told us of.
Oh, when she had writ it and was reading it over, she found Benedict's name had filled the sheet.
That.
Oh, she tore that into 1,000 halfpence, railed at herself that she should be so immodest to write to one that she knew would flout her.
Then, down upon her knees she falls, weeps, sobs, beats her heart, tears her hair, prays, curses, oh sweet Benedict, God give me patience.
She doth indeed. My daughter says so. The ecstasy hath so much overborne her that my daughter is sometimes afeard she will do a desperate outrage to herself. 'Tis very true.
And she should. For if she does make tender of her love, 'tis very possible he'll scorn it. But the man, if you know, hath a contemptible spirit.
He is a very proper man.
Well, he hath a good outward happiness.
Before God, and he is very wise.
He hath some sparks that are like wit.
And I take him to be valiant.
Oh, as Hector, I assure you. Oh, and in the managing of quarrels you may say he is wise, for he either avoids them with great discretion or undertakes them with a most Christian-like fear.
If you do fear God, you ought to avoid quarrel. And if he must enter into one, he ought to enter with fear and trembling.
And that will he do, for the man doth fear God, though it seems not in him by some large jests he might make. Well, I am sorry for your niece. Shall we go, seek Benedict, and tell him of her love?
Never tell him, my lord. Let her wear it out with good counsel.
Nay, that's impossible. She may wear her heart out first.
Well, we will hear more of it by your daughter. Let it cool a while. I love Benedict well, and I would he would modestly examine himself to see how unworthy he is of such a sweet lady.
Well, dinner is ready. Shall we walk, my lord?
If you do not dote on her upon this, I will never trust my expectation.
Let the same net be spread for her, when that must your daughter and her gentlewoman carry out. Let us send her to call him into dinner.
This can be no trick. The conference was sadly born. They have the truth of this from Hero. They seem to pity the lady. It seems her affections have their full bent. Oh, love me. Why, it must be requited. I hear how I am censured. They say I will bear myself proudly if I perceive the love come from her. They say, too, that she had rather die than show any sign of affection. I did never think to marry. I must not seem proud. Happy are they that hear that attractions can put them to mending. They say the lady is fair. 'Tis a truth, I can bear them witness. And wise, and virtuous. And, well, 'tis so, I cannot reprove it. That she is wise, they say, except for in loving me, and troth 'tis no addition to her wit. But nor no argument of her folly, for I shall be horribly in love with her, and I may chance have some odd quirks, remnants of wit broken on me, because I have railed so long against marriage. But doth not the appetite alter? A man loves the meat of his youth that he cannot endure in his age. Shall quips and sentences and these paper bullets of the brain awe a man from the career of his humor? No, the world must be peopled. When I said I would die a bachelor, I did not think I should live till I were married. Here comes Lady Beatrice. By this day she's a fair lady. Do you spy some marks of love in her?
Against my will, I am sent to bid you come in to dinner.
I thank you for your pains, my Lady Beatrice.
I take no more pains for those thanks than you take pains to thank me. If it had been painful, I would not have come.
You take pleasure in the message, then?
Yea, just as much as you may take upon a knife's point and choke a doll withal. Have you no stomach, Signor? Fare you well.
Ha! Against my will, I am sent to come bid you into dinner. There is a double meaning in that. I took no more pains for those thanks than the pains you took to thank me. Well, that's as easy to say that any pains she takes from me are as easy as thanks. She's a fair lady. I shall get her picture.
Good morning. There find her ear and tell her I and Ursula walk in the orchard, and our whole discourse is all over. And bid her steal into the pleached bower, where honeysuckles, ripened by forbid the sun to enter. There will she hide. And leave us alone.
I'll make her come, I warrant you. Presently.
Now, just stop him down. As we do trace this alley up and down, our talk must only be of Benedict. When I do name him, let it be thy part to praise him more than ever man did merit.
One-liner.
My talk to thee must be how Benedict is sick in love with Beatrice. Of this matter is little Cupid's crafty arrow made that only wounds by hearsay. Now, begin. For look where Beatrice, like a lapwing, runs close to the ground to hear our conference.
The pleasantest angling is to see the fish cut with her golden oars the silver stream and greedily devour the treacherous bait. So angle we for Beatrice, who even now is couched in the woodbine coverture. Fear you not my part of the dialogue?
Then go we near her, that her ear lose nothing of the false sweet bait that we lay for it. No, truly, Ursula, she is too disdainful. I know her spirits are as coy and wild as haggards of the rock.
But are you sure that Benedict loves Beatrice so entirely?
So says the prince, and my new troth lord.
And did they bid you tell her of it, madam?
They did entreat me to acquaint her of it, but I persuaded them, if they loved Benedict, to wish him wrestle with affection, and never to let Beatrice know of it.
Why did you so, madam? Doth not the gentleman deserve as full as fortune a bed as ever Beatrice did couch upon?
O God of love, I know he doth deserve as much as may be yielded to a man, but nature never framed a woman's heart of prouder stuff than that of Beatrice. Disdain and scorn ride sparkling in her eyes, misprizing what they look on, and her wit values itself so highly that to her all matter else seems weak. She cannot love, nor take no shape, no project of affection. She is so self-endeared.
Sure, I think so. And therefore it were not good she knew of his love, lest she make sport at it.
Why, you speak truth. I never yet saw a man how wise, noble, young, fairly featured, that she would spell him backward. If fairly featured, she would swear the gentleman should be her sister. If tall, a lance ill-headed. If low, an agate, vilely cut.
If speaking, why a vein, blown with all winds. Silent, why a block, moved with none. So turns she every man the wrong side out. Never gives to truth and virtue that which simpleness and merit purchaseth.
Sure, such carping is not commendable.
No, not to be so odd in formal fashions as Beatrice is, cannot be commendable. But who dare tell her so? If I should speak, she would mock me into air. Oh, she would laugh me out of myself, press me to death with wit.
Therefore, let Benedict, like covered fire, consume away in sighs, waste inwardly. For a better death than die with mocks. Just as bad as die with tickling.
But tell her of it, madam. Hear what she will say.
No. Rather I will go to Benedict. Counsel him to fight against his passion. And truly, I'll devise some honest slanders to scorn my cousin. One does not know how much an ill word may poison liking.
Oh, do not do your cousin such a wrong. She cannot be so much without true judgment, having so swift and excellent a wit as she is prized to have, as to refuse so rare a gentleman as Signor Benedict.
He is the only man of Italy. Always accepted, my dear Claudio.
I pray you, madam, speaking my fancy, do not be angry with me. Signor Benedict, for shape, for bearing, argument, and valor, goes foremost in report throughout Italy.
He doth have an excellent good name.
His excellence did earn it, ere he had it. When are you married, madame?
Why, every day tomorrow. Come, let us go in. I will show thee some attires and get thy counsel which is the best to furnish me tomorrow.
She is limed, I warrant you. We have caught her, madam.
If it proves so, then loving goes by haps. Some Cupid kill with arrows, some with traps.
What fire is in mine ears? Can this be true? Stand I condemned for pride and scorn so much? Well, contempt, farewell, and maiden pride, adieu. No glory lives on the back of such. And Benedict? Love on! I will requite thee, taming my wild heart to thy loving hand. If thou dost love, my kindness will incite thee to bind our loves up in a holy band. For others say thou dost deserve, and I believe it, better than reportingly.
I do but stay till your marriage become consummate. Then go I towards Aragon.
My lord, if you'll vouchsafe me.
Nay, that would be a greater soil in the new gloss of thy marriage to show a child his new coat, and yet forbid him to wear it. I will only be bold with Benedict for company, for from the crown of his head to the bottom of his foot he is all mirth. He has twice or thrice cut Cupid's bowstring, and the little hangman dare not shoot at him. His heart is as sound as a bell, and his tongue the clapper. For what his heart thinks, his tongue speaks.
Gallants, I am not as I have been.
So say I. Methinks you are sadder.
I hope he be in love.
Oh, hang him truant. There's no true drop of blood in him to be so touched by love. Oh, if he be sad, he wants money.
I have a toothache.
Draw it.
Hang it.
You must hang it first and draw it afterwards.
What, sigh for a toothache?
Where's but a humor or a word?
Well, everyone may master a grief, but he that has it.
Yet I say, he is in love.
The greatest note of it is his melancholy.
And when does he want to wash his face?
Or to paint it, for which I hear what they say of him.
Nay, but his jesting spirit, which is now crept into a lute string, and governed by stops.
Indeed, that tells a heavy tale. Conclude, conclude. He is in love.
Nay, but I know who loves him.
Warrant that what I know too. One that knows him not.
Yes, and his ill conditions. And in despite of all, dies for him.
Oh, she shall be buried with her face upwards.
Yet this is no charm for a toothache. Walk aside with me, old signor. I have studied 8 or 9 wise words which these hobby horses ought not to hear.
My life to break with him about Beatrice.
'Tis even so. By this, Margaret and Hero have played their part with Beatrice, and then the two bears will not bite one another when they meet.
Ah, my lord and brother, God save you.
Good den, brother.
If your leisure served, I would speak with you.
In private?
If it please you, yet Count Claudio may hear, for what I would speak of concerns him.
What's the matter?
Means your lordship to be married tomorrow?
You know he does.
I know not that. When he knows what I know.
If there be any impediment, I pray you discover it.
You may think that I love you not. Let that appear hereafter, and aim better at me by that I now will manifest. For my brother's sake, I think he holds you well, and in dearness of heart hath hope to effect your ensuing marriage. Surely suit ill spent and labor ill bestowed.
Why, what's the matter?
I came hither to tell you, and circumstances shortened, for she is too long a talking of. The lady is disloyal.
Who, Hero?
Even she. Leonato's hero? Your hero? Every man's hero?
Disloyal.
I could say she were worse. Think you of a worse term, and I will fit her to it. But wonder not till further warned. Go with me tonight, and you will see her chamber window entered the night before her wedding. If you love her then tomorrow wed her. But it would better fit your honor to change your mind.
May this be so.
I will not think it.
If you trust not that which you see, dare not confess that which you do know. If you go with me, I will show you enough. And when you have seen more and heard more, then proceed accordingly.
If I see anything tonight, why should not marry her tomorrow in the congregation where I should wed her? There will I shame her.
As I wooed for thee to obtain her, I will join with thee to disgrace her.
I will disparage her no farther till you are my witnesses. Bear it but coldly till midnight, and let the issue show itself.
Day untowardly turned.
Oh, mischief strangely thwarting.
Oh, plague right well prevented, so will you say when you have seen the sequel.
Are you good men and true?
Yea, or else it were a pity, but they should suffer salvation, body and soul.
Nay, that were a punishment too good for them, if they should have any allegiance in them, being chosen for the prince's watch.
We'll give them their charge, neighbor Dogberry.
First, who think you the most desertless man to be constable?
Hugh Oatcake, sir, or George Seacoe. They can write and read.
Come hither, Nebuchadnezzar. God hath blessed you with a good name, for to be a well-favored man is the gift of fortune. But to write and read comes by nature.
Both which, Master Constable,
you have. I knew it would be your answer. Well, for your fortune, why, give God thanks and make no boast of it. And as for your reading and writing, let that appear when there is no need of such vanity. Now, you are thought here to be the most senseless and fit man for the constable of the watch. Therefore, bear you the lantern. Bear him the lantern. This is your charge. You are to comprehend all vagrom men, You are to bid any man stand in the prince's name.
How if I will not stand?
Why then, take no note of him, but let him go. And presently call the rest of the watch together, and thank God you are rid of a knave.
If he will not stand when he is bidden, he is none of the prince's subjects.
True. True. And the watch are to meddle with none but the prince's subjects. You shall also make no noise in the streets, for the watch to babble and to talk is most tolerable and not to be endured.
We would rather sleep than talk. We know what belongs to a watch.
Why, you speak like an ancient and most quiet watchman. But I cannot see how sleeping should offend. Only take care that your bills be not stolen. Well, you are to call at the alehouses and bid those that are drunk get them to bed.
How if they will not come with us?
Why then, let them alone till they are sober. You may say they are not the man you took them for. If they make you not, then the better answer. You may say they're not the man you took them for. As I said, if you meet a thief, you may suspect him by virtue of your office to be no true man. And the less you meddle or make with such kind of men, why, the more is for your honesty.
If we know him to be a thief, shall we not lay hands on him?
Truly, by your office you may, but I think they that touch pitch will be defiled.
You have always been called a merciful man, partner.
Truly, truly. I would not hang a dog by my will, much more a man who hath any honesty in him. And the most peaceable way for you, if you do take a thief, is to let him show himself what he is and steal out of your company.
If you hear a child cry out in the night, you must call the nurse and bid her still it.
How if the nurse be asleep and will not hear us?
Why then, take no note of it, and depart in peace. For the lamb that will not hear the ewe when it bleats will never hear the calf when he bays.
'Tis very true.
This is the end of the charge. You, Master Constable, are to present the prince's own person. If you meet the prince in the night, you may stay him.
Marry, sir, I think he cannot.
5 shillings to 1 on it. By any man that knows the statutes, he may stay him. Marry, not without the prince be willing, for it is an offense to stay a man against his will, and the watch ought to offend no man.
Fair lady, I think it be so.
Ha! Well, masters, good night. And any matter of weight chances, call me up. Keep your fellows' counsels and your own. Good night. Come, neighbor.
Excuse me, madam. Well, masters, we hear our charge. Let us go sit here upon the church bench till 2, then all to bed.
One word more, honest neighbors. I pray you, watch about Signor Leonardo's door, for the wedding being there tomorrow, there is a great coil tonight. Adieu. Be vigilant, I beseech you.
What? Conrad?
Peace. Stir not.
Conrad, I say. Mass, and my elbow itched. I thought there would a scab follow. Stand thee close then under this penthouse, for it drizzles rain, and I will, like a true drunkard, utter all to thee. Therefore know that I have tonight earned of Don John 1,000 ducats.
Some treason, Master Stinkler.
Didst thou not hear something?
No, 'twas the vein on the house.
Know that I have tonight wooed Margaret, the Lady Hero's gentlewoman, by the name of Hero. She leans me out her mistress' chamber window, bids me 1,000 times good night. I tell this tale vilely. I should first tell you how the Prince Claudio and my master, planted, placed, and possessed by my master, saw far off in the orchard this amiable encounter.
And thought they Margaret was Hero?
2 of them, the Prince and Claudio, but the devil my master knew she was Hero. And partly by his oaths which first possessed them, and partly by the dark night which did deceive them, but chiefly by my villainy which did confirm any slander Don John had made. Away when Claudio, enraged, swore he would meet her the next morning at the temple as he was appointed, and there, before the whole congregation, shame her and send her home again without a husband.
We charge you in the prince's name.
Call up the right, Master Constable. We have here recovered the most dangerous piece of letter that was ever known in the Commonwealth.
And one deformed is one of them. I know him. Oh, where's a lot?
Masters,
You
masters.
will be made bring forth, deformed forth, I warrant you.
Masters?
Never speak. We charge you, let us obey you to go with us.
We are likely to prove a goodly commodity being taken up by these men's bills.
Commodity in question, I warrant you. Come, we'll obey you.
Good Ursula, fetch my cousin Beatrice and desire her to rise.
I will, lady.
And bid her come hither.
Well,
Troth, I think your other Roberto were better.
No, pray thee, good Mag, I'll wear this.
By my troth, 'tis not so good, I warrant your cousin will say so.
My cousin's a fool, and thou art another. I'll wear none but this.
Oh, I like the new tire within excellently, if the hair were a thought burner. And your gown's a most rare fashion, if faith. I saw the Duchess of Milan's gown that they praise so.
Oh, that exceeds, they say. But God give me joy to wear this. For my heart is exceeding heavy.
'Twill be heavier soon by the weight of a man.
Fie upon thee! Art not ashamed?
Of what, lady? Of speaking honorably. Is not your marriage honorable in a beggar? Is not your lord honorable without marriage? I'll offend nobody. Is there any harm in the heavier for a husband? If it be the right husband and the right wife, ask my Lady Beatrice, else here she comes.
Good morrow, coz.
Oh, good morrow, sweet hero.
Why, how now? Do you speak in the sick tune?
I'm out of all other tune, methinks.
Ha! Collapse into light of love. That goes without a burden. Do you sing, and I'll dance it.
'Tis almost 5 o'clock, cousin. 'Tis time you were ready. Oh. Oh. I am exceeding ill. Oh, hi-ho.
For a hawk, a horse, or a husband?
For the letter that begins them all. H.
Well, and you be not turned Turk, there's no more sailing by the star.
What means the fool, trow?
Oh, nothing, I. But God give everyone their heart's desire.
These gloves the Count sent me. They are of an excellent perfume.
I am stuffed, cousin. I cannot smell.
A maiden stuffed. There's goodly catching of cold.
Oh, God help me. God help me. How long have you professed apprehension?
Even since you left it. Doth not my wit become me rarely?
You should wear it in your cap. 'Tis not seen enough. I am sick.
Get you some of this distilled Cordus Benedictus, and lay it to your heart. 'Tis the only thing for a qualm.
There thou prickest her with a thistle.
Benedictus. Why, Benedictus? You have some moral in this Benedictus?
Moral? No, by my troth, I have no moral meaning. I meant plain holy thistle. You may think perchance that I think you are in love. Nay, by Our Lady, I am not such a fool to think what I list. Nor I list not to think what I can, nor indeed I cannot think that I would think my heart out of thinking that you are in love, or that you will be in love, or that you can be in love. Yet Benedict was such another. He swore he would never marry, and yet now, in despite of his heart, he eats his meat without grudging. And how you may be converted, I know not. But methinks you look with your eyes as other women do.
What pace is this that thy tongue keeps?
Oh, not a false gallop.
Madam, withdraw. The prince, the count, the gallants of the town, Don John, they've all come to bid you come to church.
Come, help me to dress, good Meg, good cuz, good Ursula.
What would you with me, honest neighbors?
Marry, sir, we would have some confidence with you that discerns you nearly.
Brief, I pray you, for you see it is a busy time with me.
Marry, this it is, sir.
Yes, indeed it is, sir.
Go you on ahead to the wedding, and prepare those things I told you of. What would you with me, my good friends?
Goodman Verges, sir, speaks a little off the mark. An old man, sir, and his wits are not so blunt as, God help, I would desire they were, but in faith as honest as the skin between his brows.
Yes, sir. I thank God I'm as honest as any man living. That is an old man, and so long as he is no honester than I.
Comparisons are odorous. Palabras, neighbor Verges.
Neighbors, you are tedious.
Oh, it pleases your worship to say so, but we are but the poor duke's officers. But for mine own part, if I were as tedious as a king, I could find it in my heart to bestow it all of your worship.
All thy tediousness on me? Huh.
Yea, and 'twere 1,000 pound more than 'tis. For I hear as excellent report on your worship as of any man in the city. And though I be but a poor man, I am glad to hear it.
And so am I.
Neighbors, I would fain know what you have to say.
Mary, sir, our watch tonight, accepting your worship's presence, have taken a couple as errant knaves as any in Messina.
A good old man, sir, he will be talking. As they say, when the age is in, the wit is out. God help us, it is a world to see. Well said, faith, neighbor Virgil. Well, God is a good man, and 2 men ride of a horse, 1 must ride behind. An honest soul, in faith, sir, by my troth, he is as ever broke bread, but God is to be worshipped. All men are not alike. Alas, good neighbor.
Indeed, neighbor, he comes too short of you, I think.
Gifts that God gives.
I must leave you.
1 word, sir. Our watch, sir, have indeed comprehended 2 auspicious persons, and we would have them this morning examined before your worship.
Take their examination yourself, and bring it to me. I am now in great haste, as it may appear unto you.
It shall be sufficient.
Oh, drink some wine ere you go.
My lord, they stay for you to give your daughter to her husband.
I'll wait upon them. I am ready.
Go, good neighbor, get you to Francisco. Bid him bring his pen and inkhorn to the jail. We are now to examination these men.
And we must do it wisely.
Oh, we will spare for no wit, I warrant you. Only get the learned writer to set down our excommunication and meet me at the jail.
Brief, friar, only to the plain form of marriage, and you shall account their particular duties afterwards.
You come hither, my lord, to marry this lady.
No.
Ah. And, oh.
Oh, to be married to her. Friar, you come to marry her.
Ah. Lady, you come hither to be married to this count.
I do.
If either of you know any inward impediment why you should not be conjoined, charge you on your souls to utter it.
Know you any hero?
None, my lord.
Know you any count?
Oh, I dare make his answer. None.
No.
Oh, what men dare do, what men may do, what men daily do, not knowing what they do.
How now? Interjections? Will some be of laughing as, aha, he, ha.
Stand thee by, Father. Father, will you, with free and unconstrained soul, give me this maid, your daughter?
As freely, son, as God did give her me.
And what have I to give you back, whose worth may counterpoise this rich and precious gift?
Nothing, unless you render her again.
Sweet prince, you lend me noble thankfulness. Thou, Leonardo, take her back again. Give not this rotten orange to your friend. She's but the sign and semblance of her honor. Behold, how like a maid she blushes here. Oh, what authority and show of truth can cunning sin cover itself withal? Comes not that blood as modest evidence to witness simple virtue? Would you not swear, all you that see her, that she were a maid by these exterior shows? But she is none. She knows the heat of a luxurious bed. Her blush is guiltiness, not modesty.
My lord, if you in your own proof had made a feat of her virginity.
Oh, Leonardo, I never tempted her with word too large, but as a brother to a sister, showed bashful sincerity and comely love.
It seemed I ever otherwise to you.
Out on thee! Seeming, you seem to me as dying in a robe, as chaste as is the bud ere it be blown.
Is my lord well that he does speak so wide?
Why speak not you, prince?
What should I say? I stand dishonored that would have gone on to link my dear friend to a common stale.
These things spoken? Or do I but dream?
Sir, they are spoken and they are true.
This looks not like a nuptial.
True? Oh, God.
Leonardo, stand I here. Is this the prince? Is this the prince's brother? Is this face hero's? Or our eyes our own?
All this is so, my lord, but what of this?
Then let me move but one question to your daughter, and by that fatherly and kindly power that you have in her, bid her answer truly.
I charge thee do so, as thou art my child.
Oh, God defend me. How am I beset? What kind of catechizing call you this?
What man was he talked with you yesternight? Outside your window betwixt 12 and 1.
I talked with no man at that hour, my lord.
Why then are you no maiden? Leonardo, I am sorry you must hear, but upon mine honor, myself, my brother, and this grieved count did see her, hear her at that hour last night, talk with a ruffian at her chamber window, who hath, like a most liberal villain, confessed the vile encounters they have had 1,000 times in secret.
Fie, they are not to be spoken of, not to be named. There is not chastity enough in language without offense to utter them. Therefore, pretty lady, I am sorry for thy much misgovernment.
O hero, what a hero hadst thou been if half thy outward graces had been placed about thy thoughts and the counsels of thy heart. But fare thee well, most foul, most fair, farewell.
Oh, hath no man's dagger here a point from me?
How now, cousin? Wherefore sink you down?
Come, let us go. These things thus come to like smother her spirits up.
How doth the lady?
Dead, I think. Help, uncle. Hero? Help, uncle, Signor Benedict, friar.
Oh, fate, take not away thy heavy hand. Death is the fairest cover for her shame that may be wished for.
Oh, now, cousin Hero?
Have comfort, lady.
Dost thou look up?
Yea. Wherefore should she not?
Wherefore? Why, does not every earthly thing cry shame upon her? Could she here deny the story that is written in her blood? Oh, do not live here, oh, do not ope thine eyes. For didst I think thou would not quickly die, thought I thy spirits were stronger than thy shames, would on the reward of reproaches strike at thy life.
Signor Leonato, be patient, good signor. For my part, I am so attired in wonder, I know not what to say.
In my soul, my cousin is belied.
Good lady, were you not her bedfellow last night?
No, truly not. But until last night, I have this 12 months been her bedfellow.
Confirmed, confirmed. And would the princes lie? Would Claudio lie? Hence from her, let her die.
Hear me a little, for I have only been silent so long and given way unto this course of fortune. By noting of the lady, I have marked that in her eyes there doth appear a fire, to burn away these errors these princes hold against her maiden truth. Call me a fool if this sweet lady lie not guiltless here under some biting error.
Friar, it cannot be. Thou seest that the only mercy she hath left is that she will not add to her damnation a sin of perjury. She denies it not. Why seekest thou then to cover with excuse that which appears in proper nakedness?
Lady, what man is he you are accused of?
They know that do accuse me. I know none. If I know more of any man than that which maiden modesty doth warrant, let all my sins lack mercy.
There is some strange misprison in the princes.
Two of them have the very bent of honor, and if their wisdom be misled in this, the practice of it lives in John the Bastard. The spirit lies in the frame of villainies.
I know not. If they tell but truths of her, these hands shall wry her. If they do besmirch her honor, the proudest of them shall well hear of it.
Pause a while, and let my counsel sway you in this case. Your daughter here the prince is left for dead. Let her a while be secretly kept in, and maintain she is dead indeed. Maintain a mournful ostentation.
What would this do? What good would come of that?
Mary, this well shall on her behalf change slander to remorse. For it so falls out that what we have, we prize not in the value while it is ours, but having been lacked and lost, why, then we rack the value. Then we find the virtue that possession would not show us while it was ours. So it will fare with Claudia. The idea of her life shall sweetly creep into a study of imagination. Every lovely organ of her life shall grow imperiled in more precious habit, more moving, delicate, and full of life, into the eye and prospect of his soul than when she lived indeed. Then shall he mourn.
Signor Leonato, let the friar advise you, and though you know my internecine love is very much to the prince and Claudio, yet by mine honor, I will deal in this thing as secretly as your soul should with your body.
Being that I flow in grief, the smallest twine may lead.
'Tis well consented. Presently away. Come, lady, die to live. This wedding day is perhaps but prolonged. Have patience and endure.
Lady Beatrice, have you wept all this while?
Yea, and I will weep a while longer.
I would not desire that.
You have no reason. I do it freely.
Surely I do believe your fair cousin is wronged.
How much might the man deserve of me that would right her?
Is there any way to show such friendship?
A very even way, but no such friend.
Well, may a man do it?
It is a man's office, but not yours.
Surely I do love nothing in the world so well as you. Is not that strange?
As strange as the thing I know not. It were as possible for me to say I loved nothing so well as you, but believe me not. Yet I lie not. I confess nothing nor deny nothing. I am sorry for my cousin.
By my sword, Beatrice, thou lovest me.
Do not swear and eat it.
I will swear by that thou lovest me, and I'll make him eat it that says I love not you.
Will you not eat your word?
No sauce that can be devised to it. I protest I love thee.
And God forgive me.
What offense, sweet Beatrice?
You have stayed me in a happy hour. I was about to protest I loved you.
And do it with all thy heart.
I love you with so much of my heart that there is none left to protest.
Come, bid me. Do anything for thee.
Kill Claudio.
Oh, not for the wide world.
You kill me to deny it. Fare you well.
Tarry, good Beatrice.
I am gone, though I am here.
Oh, Beatrice.
There is no ill love in you. I pray you let me go.
We'll be friends first.
You dare easier be friends with me than fight with mine enemy.
Is Claudio thine enemy?
Is he not approved in the height of villain, that hath slandered, scorned, dishonored my kinswoman? That I were a man, what, bear her in hand until they come to take hands, and then with public accusation, uncovered slander, unmitigated rancor, oh God, that I were a man. I would eat his heart in the marketplace.
Oh, hear me, Beatrice.
Talk with a man at a window. A proper saying.
Nay,
Sweet hero, she is wronged. She is slandered. She is undone.
Beatrice.
Princes and counties, surely a princely testimony, and a goodly count. Count Comfect, a sweet gallant, surely.
Beatrice.
Oh, that I were a man for his sake. Or that I had a friend who would be a man for my sake. But manhood is melted into courtesies, valor into compliment, and men are turned into tongue, and trim ones too. Now he is as valiant as Hercules, that only tells a lie and swears it. I cannot be a man through wishing. Therefore, I will die a woman with grieving.
Lady Beatrice, by this hand, I love thee.
Use it for my love some other way than swearing by it.
Think you, in your soul, that Claudio hath wronged, hero?
Yea, as sure as I have a thought or a soul.
Enough. I am engaged. I will challenge him. I will kiss your hand, and so leave you. By this hand, Claudio shall render me a dear account. Go, comfort your cousin. I must say she is dead. When you hear of me, so think of me. So I leave you.
Is our whole dissembly appeared?
Oh! A stool and a cushion for the sexton.
What's being about back doors?
Mary, that I am at my partner.
Nay, sir, that's certain. We have the exhibition to examine.
But which are the ones to be examined? Let them come before Master Constable.
Yea, Mary, let them come before me. Your name, friend?
Orazio.
Pray write down Borazio. Yours, Sirrah?
I am a gentleman, sir. My name is Conrad.
Pray write down Master, Gentleman, Conrad. Master, do you serve God?
Yea, sir. We hope.
Write down that they hope they serve God, but write God first, for God defend, but God should go before such villains. Masters, it is thought already that you are little better than false knaves.
Marry.
And it will go near to be thought so shortly.
Marry, sir, we say we are none.
A marvelous witty fellow, I assure you. But I will go about with him. Come you hither, sir. A word in your ear. I say to you, it is thought that you are false knaves.
Sir, I say to you, we are none.
Well then, stand aside. For God, they are both in a tale. Have you writ down that they are none?
Master Constable, you go not the way to examine these men. You must first call forth the watch that they're accusers.
Yea, Mary, that is the aptest way. Let the watch come forth. Masters, I charge you in the prince's name, accuse these men.
This man said, sir, that Don John, the prince's brother, was a villain.
Write down the prince's brother villain. Why, this is flat perjury to call the prince's brother villain.
Master Constable.
Pray thee, fellow, peace. I do not like thy look, I promise thee.
What else?
Mary, Mary, Mary. He had received 1,000 ducats of dungeon for accusing the lady hero wrongfully.
Flat burglary as ever was committed.
Yea, by math, that it is. What else, fellow?
And that Count Claudio did mean, upon his words, to disgrace Hero before the whole assembly and not marry her.
Oh, thou villain! Thou wilt be condemned into everlasting redemption for this!
What else?
This is all.
And this more, masters, than he can deny. Prince John in his morning secretly stolen away, hero in his manner accused, in his manner refused, and upon the grief of this all suddenly died. Master Constable, let these men be bound to be brought to Leonatus. I shall go before and show him their examination.
Come, let them be opinion.
Let them be in the hand. Off, coxcomb!
God's my life, where's the sexton? Let him write down the prince's officer coxcomb. Oh, thou naughty fowl!
Away! You are an ass! You are an ass!
Dost thou not suspect my place? Dost thou not suspect my ears? Oh, that he were here to write me down an ass! But master, though it not be written down, yet forget not that I am an ass. No, thou villain, I'm a wise fellow, and which is more an officer, and which is more a householder, and which is more as pretty a piece of flesh as any in Messina, and a rich fellow enough, and one that knows the law. Come, bring them away. Oh, that I had been written down an ass!
If you go on thus, you will kill yourself, and 'tis not wisdom thus to second grief against yourself.
Oh, I pray thee, cease thy counsel, which falls into mine ears as profitless and as water into a sieve. Give not me counsel. Bring me a father that so loved his daughter, whose joy of her is overwhelmed like mine, and bid him speak of patience. There is no such man. For, brother, men can speak counsel to that grief which they themselves not feel. But upon tasting it, their counsel turns to passion. Therefore give me not counsel. My griefs cry louder than advertisement.
Bend not all the harm upon yourself. Make those that do offend you suffer too.
There thou speakest reason. Nay, I will do so. My soul doth tell me that Hero is belied, and that shall Claudio and the prince and all those others that thus besmirch her well know.
Here come the prince and Claudio hastily.
Good den, good den.
Good den, my lord.
We hath some haste, Leonato.
Some haste, my lord. Well, fare you well. Are you so hasty now? Well, all is one.
Nay, do not quarrel with us, good old man.
If he could right himself with quarreling, some of us would lay low.
Who wrongs him?
Mary, thou dost wrong me. Thou dissemblest thou. Nay, never lie thy hand upon thy sword. I fear thee not.
Mary, beshrew my hand if it should give your age just cause of fear.
Oh, tush, tush. Never fleer and jest at me, boy. No, Claudio, to thy name. Thou hast so wronged me and my innocent child that I am forced to challenge thee to a trial of a man. Thou slander hast gone through and through her heart, and she lies buried with her ancestors, framed by thy villainy.
My villainy?
Thine, Claudio, thine, I say.
You say not right, old man.
Oh, my lord, I'll prove it on his body if he dare.
Away, I will not have to do with you.
Canst thou so daft me, boy? Thou hast killed my child. If thou killest me, thou shalt kill a man.
He shall kill two of us, and men indeed, but that's no matter. Let him kill one first. Sir boy, I'll whip you from your fawning fence. Nay, as I am a gentleman, I will.
Brother.
Content yourself. God knows I loved my niece, and she is dead, slandered to death by villains.
Brother Antony.
Hold you content. 'Tis no matter. Do not you meddle. Let me deal in this.
Gentlemen both, we will not wake your patience. My heart is sorry for your daughter's death, but on mine honor, she was charged with nothing but what was true and very full of proof.
My lord.
I will not hear you.
No. Away, brother. I will be heard.
Come, here comes the man we went to seek.
My lord, what news?
Good day, my lord.
Tay, signor, you are come to part almost affray.
We'd like to have our two noses snapped off by two old men without teeth.
Leonato and his brother, what thinkest thou? Should we have fought, I doubt we should have been too young for them.
In a false quarrel, there is no true valor. I came to seek you both.
We have been up and down to seek thee, for we are high-proof melancholy and would fain have it beaten away. Wilt thou use thy wit?
'Tis in my scabbard, shall I draw it?
Dost thou wear thy wit by thy side?
Never did any so, though very many have been beside their wit.
I shall meet your wit in the career, and you shall charge it against me. I pray you, choose another subject.
Nay then, give him another staff. This last was broke across.
By this light he looks pale. I think he be angry indeed.
What courage, man! What though care killed a cat? Thou hast metal enough in thee to kill care?
Come now, I pray you, choose another subject.
Man, if he be angry, he knows how to turn his girdle.
Right.
Shall I speak a word in your ear?
God bless me from a challenge.
You are a villain. I jest not. I shall make it good when you dare, with what you dare, and how you dare. Do me right, or I shall protest your cowardice. You have killed a sweet and innocent lady. Her death shall fall heavy on you. Let me hear from you.
Well, I will meet you, so I may have good cheer.
What, a feast? A feast?
In faith, I thank him. He hath bid me to a calf's head and the capon, the which if I do not carve most curiously, say my knife's not, shall not find a woodcock too.
Sir, your wit ambles well. It goes easily. Fare you well, boy. You know my mind. I leave you now to your gossip-like humor. You break jests as braggarts do their blades, which God be thanked hurt not. My lord, for your many courtesies, I thank you. I must discontinue your company. Your brother the bastard has fled Messina. You have among you killed a sweet and innocent lady. Her death shall fall heavy on you. For my lord Lackbeard there, he and I shall meet. Till then, peace be with him.
He is in earnest.
Most profound earnest, and I'll warrant you, for the love of Beatrice.
And hath challenged thee.
Most sincerely.
What a pretty thing man is when he goes in his doublet and hose and leaves off his wit.
He is then a giant to an ape. But then is an ape a doctor to such a man?
But soft you, let me be. I'll pluck up my heart and be sad. For did he not say my brother was fled?
Come you, sir. If justice cannot tame you, she shall ne'er weigh more reasons in her balance. Nay, and you be a cursing hypocrite once, you must be looked to.
How now, two of my brother's men bound, and Baraccio one.
Hearken after their offense, my lord.
Officers, what offense have these men done that they are thus bound?
Merry sir, they have committed false report. Moreover, they have verified unjust things. Secondarily, they are slanderers. Sixth and lastly, they have belied a lady. Thirdly, they have spoken untruths. And to conclude, they are lying knaves.
First, ask thee what they have done. Thirdly, what is their offense? Sixth and lastly, why they are committed, and to conclude, what you lay to their charge.
Rightly reasoned. And in his own division, and by my troth, there's one meaning. Well suited.
Masters, who have you offended that you are thus bound to your answer? This learned constable is too cunning to understand. What is your offense?
Sweet prince, let me go no further to mine answer. Do you hear me? And let this count kill me. I have deceived even your very eyes, which your wisdoms could not uncover. These shallow fools have brought to light, who in the night overheard me confessing to this man how Don John, your brother, incensed me to slander the lady Hero. How you were brought into the orchard and saw me court Margaret in Hero's garments. How you disgraced her when you should marry her. My villainy they have upon record, which I had rather seal with my death than repeat over to my shame. The lady is dead upon mine and my master's false accusation, and briefly, I desire nothing but the reward of a villain.
Is not this speech like iron through your blood?
I have drunk poison while you uttered it.
Did my brother set thee on to this?
Yea, and paid me richly for the practice of it.
He is composed and framed of treachery, and fled he is upon this villainy.
Oh, Hero, now thy image doth appear in the rare semblance that I loved it first.
Our sexton by this time hath reformed Signor Leonato of the manor. And masters, do not forget to specify when time and place shall serve that I am an ass!
Specify it. Where's the villain? Let me see his eyes, that when I note another like him, I may avoid him. Which of these is he?
If you would know your wronger, look on me.
Art thou the slave that with thy breath hath killed mine innocent child?
Yea, even I alone.
No, not so, villain. Thou beliest thyself. Here stand a pair of honorable men. A third is fled that had a hand in it. I thank thee, princes, for my daughter's death. Record it with your high and worthy deeds. 'Twas bravely done, if you bethink you of it.
I know not how to pray your patience, yet I must speak. Impose to me what penance your invention can lay upon my sin, yet sin I not but in mistaking.
By my soul, nor I. To please this good old man, I would bend under any heavy burden he could enjoin me to.
I cannot bid you bid her live. That were impossible. But I beseech you, possess the people in Messina here how innocent she died. And tomorrow come you to my house. Since you could not be my son-in-law, be yet my nephew. My brother hath a daughter almost the copy of my child that's dead, and she alone is heir to both of us. Give her the rights you should have given her cousin, and so dies my revenge.
Oh, noble sir, your overkindness doth wring tears from me.
Tomorrow, then, I'll expect you. Tonight, this naughty man shall face to face be brought to Margaret, whom I think had a hand in all this, hired to it by your brother.
No, by my soul she did not, nor knew not what she said when she spoke to me, but always hath been just and virtuous in anything I do know her by.
Moreover, which is not under white and black, this plaintiff, the offender here, didst call me ass. I beseech you, let that be remembered in the punishment.
I thank thee for thy cares and honest pains.
Your worship speaks like a most thankful and reverend youth, and I praise God for you.
There's for thy pains.
Oh, God save the foundation.
Tomorrow, then, my lords, I'll expect you. Oh, and go. I discharge thee of thy prison.
I leave an errant knave with your worship, which I beseech your worship to correct yourself for the example of others. God keep your worship. I wish your worship well. God restore you to health. I humbly give you leave to depart. And if a merry meeting may be wished, God prohibit it. Come, neighbor.
Till tomorrow. Farewell, my lords.
We will not fail you.
Farewell, my lords. We look for you tomorrow.
Tonight I'll mourn with Hero.
Bring you this fellow on. He'll be face to face brought to Margaret, and see how her acquaintance grew with this lewd fellow.
The gods of love that sit above and knows me, how pitiful I deserve. Mary, I cannot show it in rhyme. I can find no rhyme to lady but baby, an innocent rhyme, nor no rhyme to school but fool, a babbling rhyme, very ominous endings. No, I was not born on a rhyming planet, nor can I woo in festival terms. Lady Beatrice, wouldst thou come if I called thee?
Yea, Signor, and depart when you bid me.
Oh, stay but till then.
Oh, then is spoken, fare you well. Yet ere I go, let me go with that which I came, which is knowing what hath passed between you and Claudio.
Only foul words, and thereupon I will kiss thee.
Foul words are but foul wind, and foul wind is but foul breath, and foul breath is noisome. Therefore, I will depart unkissed.
Thou hast frighted the word out of its right sense so forcibly as thy wit. But I must tell thee plainly, Claudio undergoes my challenge, and either I will hear from him shortly, or I shall subscribe him a coward. And now, pray thee, for which of my bad parts did thou first fall in love with me?
Why, for them all together, which maintained so politic a state of evil that they would not admit any good part to intermingle with them. But for which of my good parts did you first suffer love? For me.
Suffer love, a good epithet. For indeed I do suffer love, for I love thee against my will.
In spite of your heart, I think. Alas, poor heart, if you spite it for my sake, I will spite it for yours. I will never love that which my friend hates.
Well, thou and I are too wise to woo peaceably. But tell me, how doth your cousin?
Very ill.
And how do you?
Very ill too.
Serve God, love me, and mend. Oh, but look, here comes one in haste.
My lady, you must come to your uncle. It is proved Lady Hero hath been falsely accused. The prince and Claudio mightily abused, and Don John is the author of all, who is fed and gone. Will you come presently?
Will you go hear this news, Signor?
I will live in thine eyes, die in thy heart, and be buried in thy lap. Moreover, I will go with thee to thine uncle's.
Did I not tell you she was innocent?
The prince and Claudio, whom accused her upon this error you heard here debated.
Well, I'm glad all things sort so well.
And so am I, being else enforced by faith to call young Claudio to reckoning for this.
Well, daughter, and you gentlemen all, withdraw into a chamber by yourselves, and when I send for you, come hither masked. The prince and Claudio promised by this hour to visit me. You know your place, brother. You must be father to your brother's daughter, and give her to young Claudio.
Which I will do with confirmed countenance.
Friar, I shall desire help, I think.
To do what, Signor?
Oh, to bind me, or undo me, one of them. The truth it is, Signor Leonato, that your niece doth requite me with an eye of favor.
The eye I think she had from my daughter, 'tis very true.
And I do with an eye of love regard her.
The sight whereof I think you had from me, from Claudio and the prince. But what's your will?
Your answer, sir, is enigmatical. But for my will is but your good will. may stand with ours this day to be conjoined in a state of honorable marriage, for which I shall desire your help, friar.
My heart is with your liking.
And my help. Here come the prince and Claudia.
Good morrow to this fair assembly.
Good morrow, Prince. Good morrow, Claudio. Are you yet determined to marry with my brother's daughter?
I am.
Go you forth and call them. Here's the friar, ready.
Good morrow, Benedict. Why, what's the matter? Dost thou have such a February face, so full of frost, storm, and cloudiness?
I think he thinks upon the savage bull. Tush, fear not, man. We'll tip thy horns with gold, and all Europa shall rejoice at thee, as all Europa did rejoice at lusty Jove. We need to play the noble beast in love.
Bull Jove, sir, had an amiable low, and some such strange bull hath leapt your father's calf, and by the same noble feet got a calf. For you have just its bleat.
For this I owe you. Here come other reckonings. Which is the lady I must seize upon?
Same as she, and I do give you her.
Why, then she's mine. Sweet, let me see your face.
No, that you shall not, till you take her hand before this friar and swear to marry her.
Before this holy fire, I'm your husband, if you like of me.
And when I lived, I was your other wife. And when you loved, you were my other husband.
Another hero!
Truly, one hero died defiled, but I do live. And truly, as I live, I am a maid.
The former hero. The hero who is dead.
She died, my lord, but whilst her slander lived.
All this amazement can I qualify, when after that the holy rites are ended. Meantime, let wonders seem familiar, and to the chapel let us presently.
Soft and fair, friar. But which is Beatrice?
I answer to that name? What is your will?
Do not you love me?
Why, no. No more than reason.
Why then your uncle, and the prince and Claudio, they have been deceived, for they swore you did.
Do not you love me?
Well, troth, no more than reason.
Why then my cousin Margaret and Ursula have been deceived, for they did swear you did.
They swore you were nearly sick for me.
They swore you were well nigh dead for me.
Oh, troth, no. 'Tis no such matter. Then you do not love me?
No, truly. But in friendly recompense.
Come, cousin, I am sure you love the man.
And I'll be sworn upon it that he loves her. For here's a paper written in his own hand, a halting sonnet of his own pure brain, fashioned to Beatrice.
And look, here's another, writ in my cousin's hand, containing her affection to Benedict.
A miracle! Here it is, our own hands against our hearts. Come, I will have thee, but by this light I take thee for faith.
I would not deny you, but by this good day I yield upon great persuasion, and partly to save your life. I was told you were in a consumption.
Peace, I will stop thy mouth.
How doth thou now, Benedict, the married man?
I'll tell thee what, Prince. A college of witcrackers cannot flout me out to my humor. And dost thou think I care for satire or epigram? No. If a man is to be beaten with brains, I shall wear nothing handsome about him. In brief, since I do purpose to marry, I shall think nothing to that purpose which the world may say against it. And therefore never flout at me what I have said against it. For man is a giddy thing, and this is my conclusion. For thy part, Claudio, I did think to have beaten thee, but that thou would like to be my kinsman, live unbruised, and love my cousin.
I had well hoped you would have denied Beatrice, that I might have cudgeled thee out of thy single life, to make thee a double dealer, which out of question thou wilt be if my cousin look not exceedingly narrow to thee.
Come, we are friends here. Let us have a dance ere we are married, that we may light our own hearts on our wives' heels.
We shall have a dance afterwards.
First of my word. Therefore play the music. Prince, thou look sad. Get thee a wife, get thee a wife. There's no staff more reverend than one tipped with horn.
My lord, Your brother John is ta'en in flight and brought with armed men back to Messina.
Think not on him till tomorrow. I shall devise thee brave punishments for he. Till then, strike up, pipers!
Thank you all for coming out despite the risk of the virus. It means a lot to us. We've had so much fun pulling this together. We want to give a huge thank you to Mr. Sipe and Mr. Showalter for their fantastic direction. And we'd also like to thank Michael Kish, who has put so much of this amazing set together, who was not able to come on stage tonight. So if you can give him a huge round of applause. Actually, Michael, come out. Thank you and have a wonderful and blessed night.